is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
This is Talkin Cowboys. Streaming live from the Dallas Cowboys World Headquarters at the Star in Frisco.
Handoff, Elliott plowing to the goal line. Barry, sacked by Lord. Prescott keeps it, and he bangs it in for the touchdown.
Here are Mickey Spagnola, Brian Broaddus, Rob Phillips, and Bill Jones.
Salutations from Mickey Spagnola here on Talking Cowboys. It's another week of Dallas Cowboys football for the 2018 season. First full week of 2019, and it's always a good thing when your NFL season extends into the new year. It's actually a Tuesday out here at the Star because it's another Saturday night game this week at the Los Angeles Rams. What a night it was on Saturday, and happy you could join us here on a Monday morning, a spring-like Monday morning in the Metroplex. It feels like March Madness outside. With the humidity and 65 degrees. Hello, Brian Broaddus. How are you?
Doing well, thanks, Bill. Good to be fighting for another week.
Yes. How about you, Rob Phillips? How are you?
Doing great. Yesterday turned out to be a Monday at 7 o'clock with a missed field goal by the Chicago Bears. All of a sudden, hey, Coach Garrett conference call. It's like a Monday. So here we go. It's like a Tuesday now.
Here we are. Yes, the week is just motoring along, and the season motors along, Mickey.
Another week of Talking Cowboys.
That's right.
A full week.
Full week. And, wow, what a game on Saturday night, and what a defensive performance by the Cowboys against the Seattle Seahawks. Run defense, the story of that game.
No question about it. You had a bunch of guys playing square up front, and that's what you have to do. You don't give these guys any gaps or creases to let them run the football, but I thought the tackle play was excellent. You know, coming into the game, we kind of thought about that the Seahawks were having some problems with their interior of their offensive line. And, you know, they had DJ Fluker starting back after the hamstring. Swayze was a little nicked up himself, but that didn't matter. Those guys inside, Woods and Malik Collins, Crawford, all those guys, when they got an opportunity to play against this bunch in the front and to stop the run, it was exceptional. Give the linebackers a lot of credit for filling the run fits and stuff. When you play good run defense, you got to play square, and that's what they did a great job of doing last time out.
You know, Chris Carson came into the game the NFC Offensive Player of the Month, and he had rushed for more than 500 yards over the month. 13 for 20.
Yeah.
13 for 20. And they were 24 for 73, but they had a 28-yard run. So that means it was 23 for 45. They leaked the one to Penny. Other than that, they shut down their running game, and it's a darn good thing because the opportunities they had in the passing game to hit big plays, they hit. But if they had the running game going too, the Cowboys likely would have been in trouble.
They had 9 yards in the first quarter. Seattle did 9, and to Mickey's point, I thought Seattle was a little stubborn with the run game, to be honest.
What do you think they're talking about on Talking Seahawks this morning?
Should have been throwing the ball.
Well,
but that's what they do.
Exactly.
That's how they got here.
Exactly.
Yeah,
you can't. I mean, I know what you're going to say.
Well, and they use play action off of it.
Sure.
But they had some success hitting some pass plays deep. At some point, when you've got, I think they had 3 straight 3-and-outs to open the game. At some point, you get behind, and I know you don't want to panic, but I was surprised that they stayed conservative. I know they run the ball the way they do, but you do have a Hall of Fame caliber quarterback there. And in a way, I thought it did the Cowboys a favor. But you got to give them credit. They didn't get enough credit for stopping the run in the first game. They did a nice job against Carson in the first game.
Yeah, sure did.
It was a big pass play, Lockett, that kind of opened things up, and they made some mistakes offensively. They didn't make those mistakes this time.
But it's like Pete Carroll decided, especially after the rebuild job they were doing on their team coming into this season, that they needed to run the football.
Right.
And the game never got away from them until the Cowboys finally in the fourth quarter got up 10 on them. And so it was playing out like he probably envisioned it would, even though they weren't having success running the ball. He wanted them to continue to be persistent with it.
Well, if you think about it, that's, that game against the Cowboys when they kind of changed their philosophy. We're going to run the football. They ran it 39 times and only ran it for 118 yards, but they were persistent. And if you think about it, they only scored 2 fewer points than they did the first time around. Now, the key thing was, they had 6 plays in the pass game for 194 yards. 194 yards. Yeah. They had 299 in the game. That meant the other 46 plays went for 105. Yeah. So they hit the big plays, they scored, but the difference was the Cowboys didn't give them anything like they did the first time around. The Cowboys didn't beat themselves like they did the first time around. Zeke didn't catch a pass and go 30 yards for a touchdown, but step out of bounds before he caught the pass this time around. He ran for 137, and I'll tell you what, he had his big boy jersey and pants on in that game.
Yeah.
He'll need him again this week.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's the thing with to beat the Seahawks, they did exactly what they had to do. Mickey's right. Don't beat yourself. And then, beat yourself. The Seahawks is giving them turnovers. They were plus 15 going into this game. And then to only get one, I think is pretty remarkable from the Cowboys' perspective. Once again, the Cowboys, to me, is going to continue to ride or die with their defense. That's just what they are. And we were talking about the Seahawks, and that's how they got here, by running the football. Well, the Cowboys really got here by playing great defense, and that's what they've been able to do. And to limit the Seahawks the way they were, they gave up some big pass plays. But you knew going into the game that's the possibility with Russell Wilson and these receivers. I mean, the 4th and 6 play, you can't throw the ball any better than what he threw it to get it to convert that 4th down. I mean, that was just a beautiful pass. And, yeah, there might have been holding on the play, but these officials, Walt Anderson and his crew, they were not going to let it. They were going to let him play it out. And he just threw a beautiful ball. And that's what you got to have. I mean, and they, but for the most part, I thought the Cowboys held up very, very well defensively, and it allowed them to kind of gain some traction offensively in the second half.
One thing Jason Garrett talked about too, different from the first game, is, and multiple guys said this, guys and coaches, they were a little more aggressive in rushing Russell Wilson than the first game. You focus so much on being disciplined and keep him in the well and all that. But if you're not aggressive enough, that gives him opportunities to do what he wants to do. So I thought they did a better job of just getting upfield and getting after him. And instead of worrying a little bit, Rod Marinelli said it during the week, if you slow down, then you get yourself in trouble. You got to get after him. And they did a better job of it. The front seven was outstanding. And we're seeing this linebackers continue to flow to the ball. The overall team speed on defense, it makes us a dangerous team going forward. We'll see what happens Saturday, but they're dangerous.
One of the things that I noticed, and I can go back and count it up, but when they were like blitzing the linebackers, Van Der Esch was blitzing off the left side. So if they pushed him in the middle,
right,
where does he go? He rolls to his right.
Right.
And all of a sudden, here comes 55 on that 1 3rd down play where he ended up throwing high on the out pass. Van Der Esch is right in his face.
Yeah.
So it was a good way to keep him in the pocket. They did a better job of that. But we talk about the defense. They did score 24 points, right?
Right.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but that was the most anybody scored this weekend?
That's right.
Yeah.
How about that?
So much for video game offense, right?
Yeah.
Well, you got some video game offense playing this coming week, though.
We'll see.
There's a reason those video game offenses got first-round buys.
Yeah.
In both conferences.
But we saw both those offenses, those totals dropped a little bit in December.
Sure. Sure.
And so we'll see what happens.
There weren't any 54-51 games in December.
But you're right. Kansas City, Saints, Rams. They were all off. Patriots too. Mm-hmm. We'll see what happens.
Yep. All right. So as yesterday played out, obviously the preference for the Cowboys would be for the Eagles to win that game because it gives you the opportunity. If things fall in place this week, the Cowboys win and an Eagles win, you can host an NFC Championship game.
That's your hope.
Next week. But, wow, wasn't it something the way that thing played out at the end?
Well, and I'll tell you what, though, to me, I don't know about you guys, and I think everybody here picked Philadelphia to win. I think when we did that, we all said Philadelphia.
I picked the Bears.
Did you pick the Bears?
Just to be different.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is that the Bears are a year away, in my opinion, especially with that quarterback. Playoff experience matters. It really does. You look at what really all game long. Philadelphia was kind of struggling along, but what happened when they had to have a drive? Who did they have to go to? They went. They leaned on their quarterback at the end. He made a play to a guy that they traded for. Much like how the Cowboys. But what did they do? They drafted a kid. They threw the ball to a tight end. They got another tight end that's tremendous. Those guys. There's a reason why that when you get in the playoffs, you have to lean on guys like that, and they were able to do that. I just didn't feel like that the Bears could sustain enough. I didn't feel like that they were going to go and finish this thing off. Their defense was supposed to be the reason why, and their defense actually gave it up at the end.
Foles gets the ball with 4 minutes. You're kind of like, uh-oh.
Yeah.
They've been in this situation. He's been in this situation. Yeah.
Well, and then they get it down to a fourth down play. And how about with a minute left, and Doug Peterson's got 3 timeouts left.
Right.
Okay, he's got them back down, facing 4th and goal at the 2-yard line. If you don't make it, you're going to get the football back if you hold them.
Right.
Because you got the 3 timeouts in your hip pocket.
Right. And he used one?
And he uses one.
Yeah.
And I was shouting at the TV going, how can you – game's over. He's putting everything on that 4th down play.
Yeah.
But he wanted to make sure he had the right play, I guess. But wow.
We've always – when you talk about coaching and stuff like that, there's game management questions. He felt like that at that point in time he needed to win the game. I mean, he's thinking I might not, even if I get.
But he took any.
Yeah, he took any chance he had out of that. But I'm okay. Get the right play.
Well, because
get the right
worked.
play.
Yeah.
No, I mean it did. But get the right play. And it's funny because I was watching the game with my folks and I said, whatever his best 2-point play is, he needs to run it. And then here's the question. And then who was doing the announcing? Was
Collinsworth.
Collinsworth goes, whatever his best 2-point play. And my dad looked at me like, I'm like, yeah, that's what you got to do. I mean, whatever your best 2-point play is, you got to work right here.
And they didn't have a good 2-point play.
Yeah, I mean, why would you use your best 2-point play on any one of the 3 previous plays?
Yeah, well, you know what? I give them credit though. They tried to run.
Right.
They tried.
Right up the middle twice.
You say, okay, let's try. I mean, you're thinking all the game long that they're having to throw the football. I mean, I was listening to him on the radio while I was driving home, and James Lofton's like, you got to. They can't run. You got to throw. You got to throw the ball. You just got to keep throwing it. And they did. They threw short passes.
What's funny about it is Doug Peterson, last year gets all the credit for all the inventive plays and 2-point plays and stuff like that. And so the Bears are sitting there. They've stopped him 3 straight times, and all they had to do was stop him one more time on a 2-point conversion. Basically, is what it came down to.
Yeah, I guess they used up the Philly special already, so
yeah,
they're kind of out of ideas. I don't know, but I mean, trying to run it. I mean, maybe that's. You don't want a turnover in that situation. That's the last thing you want. So maybe that's what you try to do first. And then, the guy leaks out in the back of the end zone right at the end. Is a good play.
But having said that, don't let the playoff game come down to a kicker. Just don't. Because they allowed him to come right down the field and in position for a makeable field goal.
Looked like he got tipped.
Yep, Trayvon Hester.
Yeah.
Did it get tipped?
Got tipped.
Trayvon Hester is trending on Twitter this morning because finally people went back and looked at the tape, and sure enough, he looked like he
tipped the ball.
Did he get how much did he get? Because it started right down the middle and then it faded.
Enough to make it go left. Yeah. But no, it did a close-up view, and I'm going to go see. I should have done that this morning. I went in here and started looking at the Rams already, but I'm going to see if on that special teams if you could actually tell it. But it looks like from the close-up angles that I saw this morning that he got a hand on the ball. So, or partially got a hand on the ball or finger on the ball. That kind of changed the trajectory a little bit.
Which is weird because I guarantee you for 20 yards, that thing was good. And all of a sudden, there it goes.
Yeah. And
how many times? He had to set a record this year.
5 times.
For hitting. No, he did 4 in one game.
So it's 6.
This was the sixth time.
6th time overall, yeah.
He went doink.
4 times against the
doink this time.
Yeah, 4 times against the Lions, 1 time against the Vikings last week, and then this one this week.
Right.
He gets 2 this time.
Just booed off the field mercilessly.
Did you see the Bears mascot?
Yeah,
just
falls
follow
behind
sideways.
I didn't see it.
He was behind the goalpost, ready to, and he just. They should have put those fans on suicide watch.
Well, your whole season, 12 wins, young quarterback, you think you got momentum, and it comes down to that.
Well, score touchdowns.
Well, they did. They didn't get that 2-point conversion they didn't get turned out to be really costly. To only go up 5 instead of 7.
Yeah.
That was really the play of the game right there when you think about it.
Yeah, it really was. The thing about it, though, too, is that I believe, if I read correctly, that Parkey was 11 of 12 in fourth quarter kicks.
He was. They flashed it on the screen.
Well, and before they iced him, that first kick looked perfect. Right
It was good.
Right down the middle.
Yeah, it was good.
That's because there was no pressure because he knew he was going to call timeout.
Probably.
He said, okay, I'm just going to take a warm-up shot here.
Yeah. Well, at least it didn't come down to your kicker having to make one.
Yeah.
What I'm saying.
That would have been the same reaction. Fans would have been on watch as well if you missed that one.
But the dude sat in front of his locker and answered questions.
He did.
Yeah, sure did.
He did.
Right.
Give him credit.
A lot of sports hate going on right there.
Yep. Yeah. You hate to see that.
Yeah.
But it makes for an interesting week this week. And how about the storylines that we are going to be talking about for the next few days here leading up to this Cowboys-Rams matchup, starting with the running backs, Zeke and Gurley. You got Wade Phillips, the defensive coordinator, on the other side. There's and really you look at the history of the Cowboys and the Rams.
I've seen a lot of playoff games my day.
Yeah,
those guys.
There was a stretch there of 6 seasons in the mid to late 70s where the Cowboys and Rams
every game there I was there. Yeah,
5 out of 6 years in the playoffs. Yeah.
Preston Pearson had one of the great games I've ever seen that was played at the Coliseum by a running back. I mean, he caught 3 touchdown passes in that game. I think the Cowboys were underdogs in that one as well. It was there's a great history between these two franchises when it comes to playoff games.
And they've lost the last 2 to him, right?
Was 86?
85.
85 was the last time they
and then
faced each other in the
83
playoffs.
was which one did they get shut out? One of them they got shut out.
I think it was the most recent one.
20-0.
Nothing, yeah.
Yeah, 20-0.
And then they got beat in 83 too.
Yeah.
The other storyline is too
Wade Phillips.
Wade Phillips, but Jared Goff would he go number 1 in 2016?
Yes.
Yep.
Zeke goes 3 picks later, and then Dak Prescott's worked out pretty well in the
130 something picks later. Yeah.
Yeah, with a compensatory pick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot going on. I think a lot of the back and forth this week is going to be, can the Cowboys defense play as what it needs to at the level to stop the Rams? And I think that you're going to look at the Rams defense. We're surely going to talk about Aaron Donald quite a bit. Rams struggle.
Half sacks.
Yeah, Rams struggle playing run defense though. Over 5 yards a carry a little bit. Now maybe that's a little bit about
being ahead in games.
Being ahead in games and stuff like that. But I'll tell you what, though, the storyline will be about the Cowboys defense and the Rams offense. But again, don't sleep on the Cowboys offense. As far as we're seeing some better things. I mean, with I'm sure Suafilo will be back in there at left guard, but Connor Williams wasn't terrible in this game. And the one sack they gave up was on a twist stunt that they tried to man, where they'd passed some stunts earlier in the game. I mean, passing guys off. They just got caught in a situation where Clark just they did a couple of twist stunts to that side, and they did just fine picking it up. It was just that one time they had problems. But
so I saw that.
They manned the
was
stunt.
Connor not supposed to come off and pick him up in the middle?
They manned it.
So how was Tyron was supposed to get over there in time?
That's how they. That
was a long way to go.
Yeah, well, they usually what they'll do is they usually will bump the stunt, and at that particular time, it might be something to do with protection. It might be a scheme thought that they have that they just play the twist as a man twist, and that's a tough way to block if you're going to man stunts, and you have to be able to make that work. I mean, you have to be able to cross behind the block and pick it up. But that was the only blemish that offensive line really had when it came to pass protection. They did a pretty good job of holding up against a group that's got some pass rushers on it.
Was that sort of a situation where the Seahawks had the right call for?
They ran the stunt earlier in the game and got blocked, and then they came back to it and got a sack. So it's something that they obviously felt like that the Cowboys would man the stunt, and they got him for the one time. The other time they didn't, but that time they did. So, but tip of the cap to Connor Williams. There was a lot of concern about how well he could really play. We talked about how well he could fit, though, in the running game. He was able to get up on the second level a couple of different times, better than what probably we would see from Su'a-Filo. And effect, if you look at the quarterback run on 3rd and 15, he threw a key block.
Yep.
He and Martin and Zach Martin threw key blocks to get and they're lucky they didn't get a block in the back downfield on Blake Jarwin, though. That was close. But other than that, I mean, I thought the guy played a really
He's not a freshman anymore.
Nope.
No, he's
played
not.
well.
And you talked about in the running game trying to attack those edges against Seattle.
I did, yeah.
Zeke's 2 big runs were bounced outside, although the 44-yarder looked like a bust by Seattle.
Yeah, they got caught. They got caught trying to pack things down inside, though. And when it bounced, though, their guys were too far inside on the play.
Yeah,
but he did a nice job.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah,
but I mean, going forward, looking at left guard, when we talk about Su'a-Filo's power, it doesn't get more of a strength on power matchup than this one. I mean, Sue and Donald in the middle.
The problem with Donald is going to be the quickness.
It's
when you
the
do
speed.
It. Yeah, that initial step. That's what gives everybody problems. Is the fact he's built so low to the ground that he doesn't give you much of a hitting space when you talk about your hands. And then so when he wins on that first step, when he's able to dip a shoulder or kind of just get underneath you, then that's where he's got the leverage to play and just to keep moving. But yeah, it's not going to be an easy matchup for the Cowboys at all inside.
That'll be an interesting decision there.
About Su'a-Filo or Connor Williams?
Yeah, because I think Williams, I only saw one other play when I went back and watched that he kind of whiffed on.
No.
But other than that, and that one, it wasn't like he locked on to the guy he was blocking and said, "Oh, I should have gone there."
Right.
He stayed with the guy.
He did his job. If you're going to man the stunt, he blocked his guy very well. Tyron Smith was the one. Now, again, that if you're going to man stunts, you got to be able to cross if you're going to do that. And Tyron just got caught too far to the outside and couldn't get back to the inside. And next thing you know, Clark was on Dak.
Originally, I thought Looney had fallen asleep, but he was
double teaming the other side. Yeah.
All right, we're just getting started here on Talking Cowboys. Much more to get to, including your phone calls when we come back in a moment.
Essilor has been helping Cowboys fans see better since 1972 so they don't miss a moment on the field. Get glasses with Essilor's best vision, clarity, and protection with the Essilor Ultimate Lens Package. 3 innovative technologies in one lens. For a limited time, you can double your lenses for free when you purchase the Essilor Ultimate Lens Package and get a second pair of frames. Find a participating eye care professional and details by visiting EssilorUSA.com. That's EssilorUSA.com. Terms and conditions apply.
Do you want the most interesting, up-to-the-minute Dallas Cowboys news straight from the Star in Frisco? How about exclusive and on command? That's right, news and nuggets you can't find anywhere else. With our exclusive Cowboys content on Alexa, you can have all the answers, secrets, stories, and more. What's Stephen Jones thinking during a game? What's Joe Looney's favorite pregame meal? We take your questions to Cowboys players and coaches, and you can hear the answers directly back to you. Just say, Alexa, open Dallas Cowboys.
If you're like me and you love... if you have a thing, then cutting the cord is scary. But then I found out I could switch to DirecTV Now and still get the live sports I love. No satellite needed, no bulky hardware, no annual contract, just...
Get the live sports you love. Try DirecTV Now for $10 a month for 3 months. Visit DirecTVNow.com. DirecTV Now. More for your thing. That's our thing. Use code REALDEAL. Limited time. Price for little package. After 3 months, renews monthly at full price. Currently minimum $40 unless canceled. Prices may change. New subscribers only. Cancel anytime. Content varies by package and may be limited. Restrictions apply.
A man's Stetson doesn't just protect him from life's elements. It projects an unstoppable and legendary spirit, just like the men wearing silver and navy on the field every Sunday. Since 1865, Stetson hats are American-made with pride right here in Texas. They are still the official crown of all self-respecting Cowboys. And Stetson is proud to be on the field with America's team. Find Stetson hats in the Pro Shop or at Stetson.com today.
Dr. Pepper is the one you crave. But how do you explain that craving?
Imagine being shipwrecked on a desert island, alone. Glass-like curls of surf pound the shore with Dr. Pepper-colored waves. surrounded by desire, but you can't drink it because it's the ocean. Fish live in there. The only thing you want is Dr. Pepper, and you can't have it.
Now that is a Dr. Pepper craving. Dr. Pepper, the one you crave.
Back to Talkin' Cowboys.
Tommy John time, crunch time. That's when you got to stay cool. Nobody's better at keeping you cool under pressure than Tommy John. Tommy John underwear has moisture-wicking antimicrobial fabrics to keep germs and perspiration at bay. That means no discomfort, no adjustment. Tommy John, no adjustment needed. Shop exclusive Cowboys underwear at TommyJohn.com/Cowboys and get 20% off your first order.
No adjustment needed for the Talking Cowboys crew on Saturday night as the Cowboys win over the Seahawks. And let's call roll. Yes, I was wearing mine.
Me too.
In.
Affirmative.
All right, there you go. It worked again.
But I had my road grays on.
Did you?
Yes.
Okay.
3 in a row now.
Yep.
All right. So there you go. You got to do it again this week.
Guess I have to.
In L.A.
I'll have to wash before we go. It's a short week.
You got plenty of time, Mickey. And we did not take a picture either.
Yeah.
So that's
That's
good
not gonna
news
that's not gonna
Good
happen.
news for everybody out there.
Just keep
Although
going.
I thought about taking a picture Saturday afternoon and sending it to you, Mickey. Just as a reminder.
An alert. Or at least just hold them up.
Not when I was wearing them.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was worried.
Yeah.
For
All right.
everybody out there.
All right. So
Here we go.
Here it is. You want to take a phone call? You want to see what's going on out there?
Yeah, let's test the temperature out there.
You think people are happy?
I think we're not going to find any complaints.
You think there'll be a lot of Cowboy fans in the stands?
I think I'm going to predict
Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum.
30,000.
30,000 Cowboys fans.
Wow.
So you're saying 30%?
Yeah. What are they?
Probably about 100,000, isn't it?
Well, they kind of refigured the stadium. I don't know because they put in some suites.
You're saying 30% then, right?
So
yeah,
they got to have at least 70 or 70,000, 80.
Yeah,
we need to look that up. All those folks from Arizona, there'll be a caravan coming to Southern California, up from San Diego.
Heard the tickets are really high.
Yeah,
after the Parkey kick. The tickets went way up.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I can understand that
Yep.
with the Cowboys coming to town.
Yep.
Let's go to Ron in California. Maybe he can give us an idea of the excitement level out there. Hello, Ron.
Hey, how you guys doing?
Good.
Yeah, tickets are pretty high. I think the cheapest ticket you can find to sit high up is about $385 on.
How much?
$385.
Yeah, $385 on SeatGeek.
Wow.
Last night I paid about $450 for 2 tickets. So yeah, just about over $1,000 when you include fees. And on Saturday it's supposed to be pretty rainy out here, so it won't be that nice during game time probably. But my question was last year when we played the Rams, Sean McVay and Jared Goff and Todd Gurley really took advantage of Jalen Smith. So what do you think the Cowboys will try to do this year? Will they try to use Jordan Lewis the same way they use him during the Saints game, or will they try, to put Byron Jones on Gurley or something like that? And I'll take your answer offline. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Ron. And
well, first and foremost, don't fumble a punt when you're ready to go up 17-0.
You got a good memory there, Mickey.
Oh, Ryan Switzer cost them the season.
He did.
Year. Yeah.
They were going to put that team away. They scored on their first, two drives?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Big play in the game, no doubt about it.
Second half was a different story in that game last year. Played at AT&T Stadium.
One question for them is Gurley's health. Now,
it's the last 2 games.
Yeah, Sean McVay said he thinks he'll probably be good to go practice tomorrow, but he's had some knee soreness, and I think it goes back to college. Is that right? Something he dealt with at Georgia?
He's had to deal with a little bit throughout his career. But, man, I've been watching the Philadelphia game. My God.
He's a great player.
I mean,
no doubt.
There's so many things they do with him. And, you think about the great things they do with Zeke here, But think about the way they throw him the ball and stuff. I mean, they create things for Gurley to do in the passing game. They threw this screen against Philadelphia that's incredible the way they ran it. It's like a delay where they have him blocking on the backside and they roll the pocket to the right, and then they get everybody going right, and then they just set it back up to the left. And McVay's a pretty creative guy as far as how he gets Gurley the ball. But he just naturally, this handing the ball, it seems like he's just gliding for 5 yards. Just like, the Eagles looks like they're in good shape, and then bam, it's like a 4 or 5 yard gain just instantly. And then he gets tackled and stuff. So, I mean, if they've rested him the last 3 weeks, I expect you'll probably see the best version of Todd Gurley in this game.
They didn't need him. They didn't have to play him the last couple of weeks.
No, but
why play him?
Like I said, I just got started on the Eagles game, but it just seemed, man, it was just the way he runs the ball is so impressive. It really, really is. He's clearly, you don't need me to tell you, he's one of the best running backs in this league. Just because the way too, again, they throw him the ball, that's impressive as well.
And he scores touchdowns.
Yeah, a lot of them.
17 rushing touchdowns. I think maybe 6 receiving touchdowns this year. That's one of the big differences between his production during the regular season and what Zeke had 6 rushing touchdowns on the year. Gurley, the first-team All-Pro running back. Zeke was snubbed on that, even though he was the rushing leader. How much do you think?
He was second team.
Yeah, but he was snubbed as far as first team goes.
Touchdowns.
But how much do you think Zeke is motivated by any of that stuff?
I think Zeke's just motivated just to win the game. I don't think he's worried about Gurley or anything. Matter of fact, they exchanged jerseys the last time. I think there's a lot of respect between the two. I think motivation is the fact that all week long we're going to be talking about the Rams' ability with Gurley to run the football. I think that's something that they have. Really, it's a dynamic offense, but I think that if there's motivation, it's like, okay, we can block 2, we can run the football. I'm the leading rusher in the league. I don't think Zeke will get overshadowed, but I think his motivation will be just to try and go on, to play well, and to carry this team the best he can.
Yeah, this defense is going to have their bulletin board material too. It's going to remind you of the Saints week of, man, these guys, they put up 33 points a game. How do you stop them? All that. So I think especially this defense thrives with a chip on their shoulder. I really do. And that they're going to have no shortage of it this week.
There's no need for extra motivation once it comes to the playoffs.
Right?
No, yeah.
No, but I feel like these guys are constantly looking for an extra edge, and it goes back to being 3 and 5. You hear it. Some of the comments they'll make after games about everybody writing them off, you hear it constantly. They've used that as fuel all season long. And, of course the playoffs are big, but I think they've got something to prove. I really do.
I think the best motivation that a coach can do would be to how much money do they make each week in the playoffs? The Cowboys, I believe, is $29,000 for winning the wild card round.
Right.
And let's say it
bumps up another 10, I think.
Let's say it's 30,000, whatever.
Yeah.
Put $30,000 in a jar.
Yeah.
In the
let
locker
them see
room,
what it looks
and
like.
let them walk by that every single day. That's what you're playing for this week, and that will be the motivation. People don't think about the fact that, hey, all the money you're making now.
Yeah.
In the playoffs, your salary is based on the regular season. All the money you're making now is winning this game. That's how you make more money.
I don't know. I've seen the guys lose that playoff check on one hand of cards in a Blu-ray game. So
but you get paid for losing too, though.
But no, the thing about it is, motivation to me will not be a problem here. This is one of those things where you look, and again, the narrative, the motivation generally comes from us. Us meaning the media,
sure, because
we talk about it, and we'll talk about it in the shows, Good Morning Football, all week long. They'll hear it. And I trust you. Trust me. There'll be some national writers here now. When you get in the playoffs, now we'll start to see those now, and then we'll see their stories, and it'll be like, oh, this is going to happen. This is going to happen. They'll see people say, oh, they can't stop this, and they can't do that. The motivation is not a problem. The motivation will be to go play well and try and get this thing to the NFC Championship game. That's the motivation.
They were already here Saturday night.
Yeah.
The national writers.
Oh, sure.
Coming in.
Yeah.
And the other motivation is you're playing before the other game. So in your mind, if I win, I'm hosting the NFC title game.
If the Eagles win.
But
the Eagles play after them, so they don't know that, right?
They'll play Sunday.
They play Sunday.
They play Sunday, right.
So when the Cowboys play, in their mind, if we win, we could host
We
it.
could, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
That was the operative word.
Yeah.
Could.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, at that point, you are, because you already won.
Okay.
Yeah.
Follow my logic, please.
We try.
I just like watching Rob's face.
That doesn't make sense.
It made perfect sense to me.
Of course it did.
Injury issues coming out of this game. There are a few injury issues.
Yeah.
Well, Alan Hearns is.
Well, yeah, and fortunately, it sounds like he'll be able to make a comeback for next season. But just a horrific injury, and I didn't watch it. I mean, I saw the play, but I didn't watch the replay when they showed it. I could tell just by the reaction that it was bad, and so I refused to watch it.
Yesterday, I went back and watched it, and I paused it. And it was like, I screamed. It was awful.
Yeah, you could see from our press box seat what happened, and that's all I needed.
I just know my ankle doesn't go a 90-degree turn.
Yep. Yeah. But you said full recovery.
That's what Jason
that's
said
the expectation.
in the conference call yesterday.
Right.
Yeah.
Good.
It was described to me as, and I will see if I can get the explanation here, very similar to the Dez ankle injury at Indianapolis a few years ago. But the only difference was Hearns has had to be relocated, and then he had an open wound, so surgery went very, very well. Very similar surgery, though, to what Dez had when they played when he got his ankle broken in Indianapolis.
See, I thought there was, because when they were getting him on the cart, I saw all the other guys picking up all these towels.
Yeah.
And I didn't see any blood, but
Dr. Cooper had gloves on. He took gloves off after they loaded him onto the cart.
I wonder who did the surgery. Because Dr. Cooper was there when
he was at the game. Ended. Yeah, he was at the game. So
he was already undergoing surgery once the game ended.
Yeah.
And the other thing about Alan Hearns, and if you're on DallasCowboys.com a lot, you've seen interviews with him and stuff. He's just a great guy.
Yeah.
And hats off to him this season. I mean, he's just a true pro. Even after the trade was made for Amari Cooper, his snaps are going to be limited, and he's just a great team guy. And you just hate to see it happen to anybody. But I've just always, since he came over from Jacksonville this past year, I've been very impressed with him.
Well, he could have complained and bitched and done all that stuff about, why they do this. I'm the number one guy, but he didn't. He knew they needed to do something. That's just a guy realizing he's looking at the big picture of it and saying, yeah, we need to do something here. I'm not getting the ball. And for that matter, no one else is getting the ball. And then we need somebody to kind of open some things up. And every time he's had to make a play, he's made a play.
That's right.
And every time that he was ever asked to block at the point of attack, he blocked. So, yeah, hats off. Unfortunate. But, they're going to have to find a way now to move on. And, obviously Lance Lenore was probably first and foremost in their mind. And, Lance played some games on special teams. Did he do well enough? We'll see. But, somebody's got to step up and make some plays.
And then you had Cole Beasley dealing with what he's dealing with, and Tavon Austin at the end of the game, too.
Yeah. So Cole said, I just needed to calm down. It's the same foot. He had a foot deal most of this season that he's been dealing with, or part of it. Now it's the ankle. I don't know. I mean, we'll kind of see how he can do as the week of practice goes on. I wonder what he can do Tuesday, but we'll see. But that would be a loss. That'd be a big loss for sure.
How about that bundle of energy, Tavon?
Oh, we've been asking for something, and I think the only reason he got to return punts is because Beasley got hurt. Beasley's going to be your primary punt returner in that game, and all of a sudden,
I thought they might use him just for what happened. I mean, because
I think a lot of it had to do. I need to ask that question, but it to me going into the game,
it didn't even occur to me that because of the Beasley injury, I thought that they probably been a playoff game.
They brought Beasley back. They brought him back to catch the one punt down in the end that ended up going over his head. Remember that?
That was after Tavon his second long return, which I assumed he
Beasley
pulled
did the
up
right
on
thing
because he felt something.
That ball hit on the 4-yard line. He did the right thing. I mean, people are saying, I should have caught the ball at the 4. It'd been better. I know. To me, no. I mean, the way the angle, the guy made a hell of a play to knock it back into field of play to make the play. But yeah, I think, and I need to ask. I will ask. I'll tell you. I'll ask at the break. But I feel like though that's why they did what they did, because Beasley got hurt.
Yeah.
They didn't want to put him back.
Well,
back there.
On Thursday, he had been catching the punts.
He's been
for the scout team
ever since he's been here. He's been backing it up. Yeah,
but he started taking some with the punt return team on Thursday.
Right.
And he went ahead of Beasley. So
I just thought that if Tavon's healthy in a playoff game where he can make a return for a touchdown, which he did, if not for a block in the back or hold or whatever they called.
Right.
Whatever the guy
that you want to use that if he's capable at all of doing it.
I guarantee he wants to play in this game if he's, like you said, if he's healthy enough, because he doesn't think he got. Yeah, he doesn't feel like he got a good deal there.
You're talking about storylines.
Right. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, absolutely.
Tavon going back to L.A. Quite a storyline. All right, we continue with more.
The storylines.
We got more stories when we come back here on Talkin' Cowboys.
If you're like me and you love... if you have a thing, then cutting the cord is scary. But then I found out I could switch to DirecTV Now and still get the live sports I love. No satellite needed, no bulky hardware, no annual contract, just...
Get the live sports you love. Try DirecTV Now for $10 a month for 3 months. Visit DirecTVNow.com. DirecTV Now. More for your thing. That's our thing. Use code REALDEAL. Limited time. Price for a little package. After 3 months, renews monthly at full price. Currently minimum $40 unless canceled. Prices may change. New subscribers only. Cancel anytime. Content varies by package and may be limited. Restrictions apply.
It's time for tailgating with the OtterBox boys.
The OtterBox that builds those crazy protective phone cases?
Yup. And now they're changing the side dish game with the OtterBox Trooper Soft Cooler. Lightweight, mobile, and leak-proof, Trooper is perfect for blitzing a crowded parking lot with a Frito pie.
Amazing. Hey, you think I could fit my 7-layer salmon salad into the Trooper cooler?
Yup, but please don't.
And that's been Tailgating with the OtterBox boys. Learn more about the Trooper soft coolers at otterbox.com.
While a player could look good on paper, it's when he's out on the field that you really find out what he's made of. That's why the Cowboys rely on more than just stats and scouting reports when building their team. When picking a tractor, it's why you should rely on more than just specs and features. You've got to take it out and put it to the test. The Cowboys did when they named John Deere their official tractor. Experience one for yourself. Visit myjohndeeredealer.com/football.
It can be hard to find the right resource for learning about important financial matters. You search how to build savings, you end up reading about the one weird ingredient from supermarkets that can make you taller. That's why Bank of America built BetterMoneyHabits.com, a safe little corner of the internet for answering your financial questions. Full of simple videos and tips, Better Money Habits can show you how to make the most of your money without resorting to random searches that always seem to lead to unbelievable photos of childhood stars grown up. To learn more, visit BetterMoneyHabits.com.
Essilor has been helping Cowboys fans see better since 1972 so they don't miss a moment on the field. Get glasses with Essilor's best vision, clarity, and protection with the Essilor Ultimate Lens Package. 3 innovative technologies in one lens. For a limited time, you can double your lenses for free when you purchase the Essilor Ultimate Lens Package and get a second pair of frames. Find a participating eye care professional and details by visiting EssilorUSA.com. That's EssilorUSA.com. Terms and conditions apply.
Back to Talkin' Cowboys.
Hey, Bill Jones, Jack Black has made some products just for you. When you get done with your workouts,
yes,
they have a new charcoal body bar soap. All right? And it's supposed to massage your muscles because it has raised nubs on the bar of soap. So when you're tired, that'll help you out. They also have a Turbo Wash energizing cleanser after your workout. Gets rid of all the sweat that's on your body. Then, afterwards, Dragon Ice pain relieving cream. It'll soothe your muscles. And finally, dry down friction-free powder. How about that? And if you go to jackblack.com and you put the code workout, you get a free other bar of soap. You get another body, too.
Free other body.
Yes,
okay.
absolutely. So make sure you
That doesn't
get
make
your
sense.
workout products from jackblack.com.
Now, you got that handwritten on your legal pad?
Right here.
So did you go research this, or did someone call you and inform you of this?
No, because of my orders over Christmas, they sent me an email with their workout products.
Okay.
Yeah, there you go.
All right. Very good.
How about that?
All right.
That'll take care of you.
To Mickey's
kids
point,
know.
Mickey was absolutely right that the primary punt return in this game was Tavon Austin. And they only use Beasley on the punt safe stuff now. So going into this game, Tavon Austin will be your primary guy.
And onside kick safe, too.
And he's fine health-wise as far as we know?
As far as we know, I didn't hear anything any
As far
different.
as Tavon?
Oh, Tavon.
Yeah, Tavon.
Jason said yesterday they'll monitor him this week. And maybe it has something to do just coming back off the injury. You know, I don't know. I don't know if he was 100% when he came back.
I just thought
he didn't make
on
it
that
sound
last
way.
return that, there was a reason that he kind of pulled up a little bit. But he jogged.
I thought it was hamstring again or something. So I was like, he kind of like jerked, and I'm like,
Right.
going, oh no, what just happened?
He hit it out of bounds after that.
Yeah.
Well, let me qualify that. As Brian always says, they're not going to put a guy on the field if he's not healthy enough to play.
True.
But it's something they're going to monitor him every week coming out of the game, like they've done with Sean. With the hamstring.
Right.
And the other part of that is okay, yeah, he might be able to do some stuff, but you want to make sure that he's not going to re-injure.
No.
Well,
yeah.
Or
Yeah, 'cause you'll
aggravate
need
it
him
worse
next week.
Yeah, you need him. Well, then, the next week, and in Atlanta, you'll need him.
Yeah.
With Bill being in there.
That's right.
Bill's
Bill
right.
there already.
Hotel's there.
Yep, that's right.
You might be. Never know, Bill. Never know.
I'm going to have some company there. I can sense it.
Yeah.
I can feel it.
You feel the company?
Right. Yep. All right, that was the third playoff win in 22 years. Y'all know how long it's been since the Cowboys won a road playoff game.
Jeez. It's got to be Miles Austin.
Hang on a second.
Oh, wow. I figured y'all would shoot this right out.
Well, but they beat the Bears. They beat the Bears 19 was it? Didn't they go to Chicago?
The Bears 91.
91.
Nope, more recent than that.
Well, not in the last years, is it?
The last road playoff win for the Cowboys. We've got a lot of listeners shouting at their devices right now. It wasn't the Chicago game. Yeah, that was a road win, but they had one since then.
In like the
92 at San Francisco.
At San Francisco,
Yeah.
January
God.
17th, 1993, one of my favorite games ever, the NFC Championship.
Oh, I was at the game. What am I?
I was there too.
I was at the game. How can I not remember that one?
I was thinking
that was Alvin Harper game,
Alvin
right?
Harper.
Oh, geez.
Slant.
I was there with John Dorsey. Yeah, that's why I got kicked out of the press.
Yeah, that's where
I told that story. How did I remember? I told that. I was just there thinking about that. Yeah, okay. That game was played at Candlestick. I was there. I was at the East-West game. That's why I went.
Okay.
Yeah, the people on Periscope are all calling us idiots. We're calling me idiot right now. Yeah.
How much? Nearly 26 years ago.
Yeah.
And of course, the Cowboys were so good during that time during the 90s that most all of their playoff games were home games. Now, they lost at San Francisco, of course, Switzer's first year.
Right.
But
were they a major underdog in that game?
Yes. Everybody kept saying they're a year
too
away.
young.
They're too young.
Like I was saying about the Bears. That's what I was saying about the Bears.
Yeah, well, it's playoff experience.
Oh, what a
helps.
great game that was.
Oh, yeah.
I was out there all week covering it.
Glad I
going to Dwight
somewhat
Clark's
remember
restaurant.
it. Yeah.
And there was actually an earthquake that was, the Cowboys came in 2 days early. Okay, so they had a walkthrough at the stadium on Saturday.
Yeah.
But on the Friday night before, there was, it was a mild earthquake, whatever.
Yeah.
Something
you live with out there, right?
Exactly, right. It was nothing to them. It was everything to me.
Was it that? It was that year. Because I remember being in a hospitality room in San Francisco for a game, and there was an earthquake.
Yeah, that was that year.
Was it?
Yeah.
But we wouldn't have been there that soon, would we?
The team came in 2 days early. For a conference championship game, you come in 2 days early.
Oh, that's right. Because they had the NFC.
They had the
press conference.
And the party.
That's right.
Friday night.
Yeah.
Man. I remember that.
Years.
We were way up in the hospitality room at top of it was the downtown Marriott.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like,
yeah.
I felt
Feel
that.
it. Yeah, that's right.
Sort of like that time it happened in Oxnard.
Yeah. The other thing, when you look at storylines, Cowboys and Rams, of course, Thousand Oaks was the former summer home of the Cowboys for decades, and now the Rams, their semi-permanent facility, regular season facility, is there in Thousand Oaks. And I paid a visit there when we were in Oxnard, did a little, going down memory lane, just take a look. I know, Mickey, you've been there to check it out, but and I tweeted this out, CBS 11, Bill Jones, where the Rams headquarters are, it is unbelievable how primitive it looks back there. It's just a gray fence with some gray buildings, look like Army barracks that have been set up there, and they got a practice field that you can't see from down the hill or anything. It's very, very private. It's way back in the hills there, but to think of the facility we're in here at the Star, and the Rams are in this thing, which is a very nice place in Thousand Oaks, but. Right. And of course, they're awaiting their.
It's a temporary.
It's temporary while they await their new stadium being built and all that stuff.
When Nate and I went there to do the Legend Show, we walked into the old cafeteria where the Cowboys the players used to eat, and we were standing there walking through, and some lady comes up and she goes, "I don't know what you guys are doing here, but, the Cowboys used to train here, and I used to feed them in this cafeteria." She was still working there.
Oh, wow.
This was like 3 years ago. Same late. It's like, I said, "Well, you probably fed this guy." She goes, "What do you mean?" It's like, "He played for him." Oh, and she got all excited.
All right, Saturday night, other things that stuck out for you on Saturday night. Obviously, Dak was huge with the 3rd and 14 play and just coming through in the clutch. That's what Dak has become. He's not the purest passer at all. But when you look at his college career and now his NFL career, he's a winner.
Yeah, I think that's the best thing you could ever say about a player is the guy's a winner, because all these players are different. They're going to find different ways to win. And I think you have to accept Dak for who he is. He plays with a huge heart. There's some throws that that he's going to miss. There's some reads he's going to miss. But when the game was on the line, he finds ways to make plays. I think that's the best thing you could ever say about a quarterback, that they have the ability when their team needs them the most, that they're there. And they've, it has not been easy for him all year. But you look now, they're in the divisional championship game with after starting the way they did. And a lot of it is because of him,
Absolutely. I think you talk about being a winner and a competitor. Something that embodies that was the touchdown pass to Michael Gallup, the back shoulder fade in the red zone. And he misses him badly one play early.
Yeah.
And he comes right back. All right, I'm going to make the throw this time. And that just kind of speaks to how he is, how he goes about it, and how he competes. The other thing that stood out too, I don't think we've mentioned Amari Cooper. They really got him going in this game. 106 yards. That 34-yard catch really set them up and got them going offensively in the second half. So that's encouraging going forward as well, for sure.
The guys, I guess Jason went on early today on the Fan, and they were shocked when he told them that play Dak ran on was a called play.
Oh, I thought
said,
definitely it was.
What were you watching?
Yeah.
Because as soon as he hit his back foot, he took off, and the
gone.
offensive linemen were already downfield. So, they called it and probably figured, okay, let's see what we can get.
And maybe have to kick a field goal. Yeah.
And make it an easier field goal.
Yeah.
How about the play before that? It was 2nd and 14 at the 17-yard line, and the Seahawks were down to 1 timeout left. And then you had the 2-minute warning, too. And I'm sitting there going, okay, you had the penalty that pushed you back and made it the 2nd and 14 at the 17-yard line. And they threw a pass. And I was like, Run the ball. In fact, I wrote down, why throw the ball with 3 stars next to it?
Right.
Well, maybe that's why they ran.
Yeah.
But that's what down. And so maybe they were setting up the quarterback draw by throwing a pass. I don't know. I mean, Yeah, you throw a pass in 2nd and 14. But in that situation, I thought you don't want to throw an incompletion. You don't want to give them a timeout. You know?
Right.
But you know what? As it turned out, they got the timeout because it got reviewed.
Yeah.
Otherwise, the clock would have still been running if they had marked
But
it
anyway,
down.
and so then it made the quarterback. I thought it was definitely a quarterback draw when they ran it.
Right.
And it was a great play call.
It was. I mean, a great job of him running through. I mean, he ran through, the linebacker. I mean, he ran through some guys to make that first down. That wasn't going to be, he ran through Bobby Wagner, basically. And Wagner and McDougal both are really good tacklers. And he ran through both of them to get the necessary yards.
But the incomplete pass on 2nd and 14 put it in the minds of the defense that they're throwing the ball. Yeah,
absolutely.
They're throwing the ball here.
Absolutely, yeah. I thought one of my favorite plays of the game was just the straight quarterback power run that he had. It looked like Army football in 1944, where he just took the ball, it snapped it to him, and then they got guys on the outside. I'll tell you what, and I wrote about this. Ezekiel Elliott had one of the best blocks I've ever. I mean, I said this. I said it. Give him a Buckeye helmet sticker, because he chopped KJ Wright down, and that's what you got to have. I mean, here's your running back, who's your heart and your soul of your team. What's he doing? I mean, you watch that tape and you're thinking, my God, he's going out there chopping guys down, trying to throw a block for his quarterback, and it was a textbook block. But that was one of my favorite plays of the game, because it just kind of showed. That's what the Cowboys are about. It's about, running the football. It's about powering people. It's about knocking people on the ground if you can. And I thought they did a great job on that play. And Dak got it as close as he could. And then 2 plays later, Zeke scores.
And Zeke stumbled on the next play.
Yeah.
So they stuffed him, but they went ahead and they gave it to him again.
Gave it to him again. Nothing wrong with that. Yep, absolutely.
And the other thing they do is they wear people down in the second half, in the fourth quarter. 11 plays, 63-yard drive. I think they wore them down. I think they got tired. Seattle did that 3rd and 14 play. You got to line up once again and stop him. And Dak, sacrifices his body once again to make a play.
Which, again, gets back to why the Seahawks were running the ball. They thought eventually they would wear down the Cowboys' run defense, and it didn't happen.
Never did. But like Mickey said earlier, the game was close. They're going to keep doing what they're doing as long as the game's close. I
think actually that was me who said that.
Was it you? Yeah. Okay, I'm sorry. Nah, one of you two on that side of the table said that. I think Mickey said that.
I wanted a Buckeye on my helmet.
Yeah. But no, that's give the Cowboys a lot of credit. They had a great game plan, and they executed the plan well. I mean, it's unfortunate. We need to find out. Mickey, did you ask anybody what happened on the long pass at the end of the game?
No, I didn't get a chance.
They played the coverage before. It was almost like Jeff Heath, what they play with a robber, with the safety playing in the middle, where they take away the inside stuff. They ran the coverage earlier in the game and didn't have the big play, but I don't know if it was Byron Jones that he was expecting that Heath was going to help him.
Looked like it
with the robber there. I need to ask, and I think we will. We'll figure that out.
I mean, I've just never seen him beaten that bad.
Well, it's
he fell asleep.
He was turned inside. He was cocked inside, like he was funneling to the middle.
Exactly.
And then the way the route broke, I was thinking, okay, is it Heath? But Heath was so focused on the middle of the field, and then when the route came to the outside, it's like that Byron was like, whoa, wait a minute, where's my robber? And my robber wasn't there. And there was some communication there right there. There was some communication issues. And there's a side of me that believes it probably, because I saw the defense played correctly the first time, but it seems like to me that probably was a Byron Jones issue, that maybe he should have carried him a little further up the field than he did, especially in that situation.
See, the other one I didn't think they executed right was the drive that Seattle finally got going. They threw to the tight end, and then the next one, was it Lockett or Baldwin out of the slot, and he went all the way across the field and caught the ball on the sideline.
Yeah.
No one covered him.
I think it was Lockett.
Lockett, yeah.
He got a free release. I think the linebacker was supposed to hit him.
Yeah, they were
because they had two guys.
They turned the safety around.
Right.
Yeah, it was Xavier Woods was carrying him. Xavier Woods saw it and turned and tried to run, but at that time you got Lockett. When Lockett's that close to you, he's by you. That's just the way he plays. But
I mean, no one covered him.
I think overall, though, for the secondary, the way they play, I thought the secondary was good. I thought the secondary did what they had to do. But that one big play at the end of the game, boy, you just don't want that to happen. I mean, that was the only play that's the only thing that could have happened that could have turned the game. we haven't really talked about the fact that they lost their field goal kicker.
Yeah.
I mean that
big.
There's some people that believe though that if you're one of those numbers guys, if you're a numbers guy, you believe it's probably a good thing that they lose their kicker because they kept going for 2.
They would have never. They would have never been that close.
Or they could have punted it. Or in that final situation, they got down to when they got down to the end, instead of scoring, they could have kicked the field goal, then tried the onside kick, because they needed the 10 points.
See, that's the thing. It makes them more aggressive. But what if you need a 45-yarder to tie?
No doubt.
At the end of the game, you need your kicker.
Well, don't have a 45-year-old kicker who's 50 pounds overweight.
Yeah, he's been making a lot of field goals being overweight.
Yep.
Yes.
But that's
a big hamstring he pulled. By the way.
To me, I didn't quite understand. Not just putting the ball on the ground and trying to squib it. You could do goofy things.
Yeah, like
you could lay the ball flat on the ground and hammer it into somebody.
By the way, Janikowski's got a hamstring.
Yeah,
but
we said that.
What does it take to?
Well, if he's ruled
10 yards
out of the game in the second half, he can't come back in. Right? They ruled him out in the press box. Yeah, they did.
Yeah, but I don't think that matters.
You sure?
I mean, it's not like you put him on a list or anything.
Well, what happens when they rule you doubtful?
See,
you're not out of the game
or
yet.
questionable. Yeah, I
don't
know.
What's the point of having designations?
Well,
you're
just saying.
I think they're just being informative, is what they're doing.
Okay, we were talking about that on the sideline. We weren't sure, but I mean, I'm sure the punter doesn't practice the onsides when they do that drill. But I mean, you're not giving yourself a chance to try to.
Well, he was trying to pooch it over the front line. He just kicked it too hard.
He hit it with his shin, which was weird. It kind of gave it a little elevation to it, is what, and that was the easiest. I mean, I don't know how you couldn't just put it on a tee.
Yeah, because that drop.
Yeah, I've seen Chris Jones practice onside kicks in training camp. I've seen him. I've seen guys practice stuff like that. I know Jeff Heath was the kicker in that San Francisco game, but I've seen guys like Chris Jones practice.
I mean, seriously, what are the kickers doing all day? Okay, might as well just work on some.
Because they usually just clown around anyway.
Just like you prepare a backup guard that he may have to go into the game, then you got to have a backup kicker.
Yeah.
So get the punter ready.
Just like your center practices half-court shots during practice.
That's right. All right, we're out of time on this edition of Talking Cowboys. We're going to talk at you again tomorrow as we dive into all those weapons that the L.A. Rams possess.
Go watch them now.
Are you going to be here? Because tomorrow's Wednesday.
I will be here.
All right.
Sounds good.
All right.
See ya.
Have a great Wednesday.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys?